All right, everybody, hope you're all doing amazing and staying productive. Today's the final and third day for the mentorship, and I actually have Noah Brewer here, as well as my good friend and business partner Ariel will be here soon. But what I've realized so far, we're a couple hours into the day so far, is that there's gonna be a lot of things we're talking about today as far as Facebook ads and different things. So I figured it would be best to separate these into different videos to make it more simple for you guys to access. So this video specifically is gonna be about product testing and different strategies, especially what Noah talks about, and different misconceptions that have to do with product testing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Enjoy it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna be doing is going over Noah's strategy that he uses after a campaign is launched for product testing. So there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different questions, a lot of different things that people talk about when it comes down to it. But I'm gonna let Noah take it away and sort of explain what he does as far as the process goes for testing products and what to look for when looking over products. So Brandon, Eric, make sure you pay attention to this. We're gonna let Noah take the reins here.
All right, cool. So I got the rules in the top left. You can see this is applicable with $5 a day budgets if your margin is under $60. I only recommend following this if you're using my strategy from the get-go, which, I mean, I got videos on my channel, so that's not what this is about. This is about after the fact, after you launch a campaign. You're on day 2, you're wondering, what do I do? And I basically made this scenario to kind of walk you through. There's different things that could happen, you know, going left or right. So I start on day 2, I launch the campaign. I don't touch anything for 2 days. So each ad set spends $10, the whole campaign $70, right? So if it has no sales, you can follow that line over to the right and just turn that off, because that product is trash and you shouldn't waste your time on it. But let's say it does make sales. Then the question is, did it make 1 or 2 sales? And the answer is basically same either way. But you know, the trees that come off of that are different. So if let's just say it makes 1 sale for now. So first sale in 2 days, that means your cost per purchase is going to be $70. You know, if you made 7 ad sets at $5 a day. Usually at this point, I just don't touch anything and I let it go for another day. And then day 3, you look at it again, and we're talking about, you know, days as in per $5 spent. So by this point, each ad set would have spent 15, and now it's just asking, did it make another sale? Pretty much. If not, you turn it off, because you know, I mean, if your margin's below 60, it only makes 1 sale with 120 spent. Yeah. It's not going to do anything. Yeah. If it did, then you just follow the arrow. And we move into basically the very beginning stages of scaling, which is just creating new ad sets. So if you make a sale in the first 2 days and then you make another sale on the 3rd day, it's a decent sign that you might have something good. So here you want to start turning off ad sets that are doing bad. You know, if they have 15 spent with no sales or no add to carts, I don't recommend turning off more than 2 per day that don't have any sales, you know, because you don't want to jerk the ad account unless it's doing really, really bad. Like if your margin is 30 and your cost per purchase is like 60, I would start turning them off quicker, right? Yeah. But if it's profitable, honestly, I might not even turn any off if it looks really good, just because I don't want to mess with it. But right here is when you want to start adding 1 new ad set per day, just like my 0 to 6 figure strategy that I made like a year ago. We still follow that same system of just making 1 new per day, and there's more to it than that down the line, but in the beginning, that's what you should be doing. Let's move back up to day 2. We said yes, we made a sale, but we made 2 sales this time. Okay, and then you just let it go for a 3rd day, same exact thing. And then it just kind of drags off into two different mindsets, right? So you might have a winner, which obviously it's a good sign if it makes 2 sales in the first 2 days and then another sale on the 3rd day. That's a really good sign, right? Especially if your margin is, you know, $40, $50, $60. But if it doesn't make a sale on the 3rd day, I wanted to put that in here because a lot of people get, what's the word? They get like itchy. Yeah. Right? Like they have a good good 2 days, they make 2 sales, they're all happy, and then the third day,
they want to scale to the moon.
yeah, well, the third day they get no sale, and they think that, you know, the product's dead already, right? But that doesn't mean anything. That just means, you know, keep it on, because day 4 could blow up, right? And then it'll average out. So same exact thing, just turn off 2, which here, you know, if it makes 2 sales and then your third day makes no sales, you definitely want to turn off 2 ad sets. Whereas with the other one, it was making sales more recently, so you don't want to be as aggressive. But with this one, you turn them off, and then you create a new one. So the steps following this, just same exact thing. Just keep on turning off ad sets, and then creating a new one every single day. If the campaign has less than 5 sales in total, like let's say you have 4 sales, and you go 4 days without a single sale, which this happens a lot. You know, some products will just blow up in the first 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and then just never make a sale again. Then you turn that off. You should expect the whole campaign as a whole should make at least 1 sale every 4 days. And if it doesn't, then I don't even waste my time on it. Even that's being pretty conservative. It should make a sale every day. You know, if it doesn't at least make a sale every day, it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making new ad sets. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It's like a good guide if you're following the lines, you know, just day by day. That's kind of why I made this. It took me like 3 hours to come up with the different scenarios. But
so how did you, like most people, they just base it off the money and they make super quick decisions. What made you like start to do it based off of like timing of days rather than?
Well, because I was already doing this before I made the chart. I just never wrote it down.
Yeah.
You know, so I would just kind of have these rules in my head that I would just follow.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if like, let's say if it was on day 2, if it had 2 sales, like I would already know, just let it run another day. And on the third day, I would just start adding to it or turn a couple things off. I just wanted to put it on paper, you know, so that people who are just starting out, they don't have that instinct. They can refer back to this.
Yeah.
This is basically what goes through my mind.
And you're doing like the similar, let's say like, I know it says at the top left, margins of under $60. So if it's higher than the margin, you're just doing like a budget increase, but you know, the similar thing?
No, I can make 100 different of these, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a lot, you know. If you're doing $10 a day budgets, it's completely different. If you're doing 20 a day budgets, it's different. If your margin is $100, it's different.
And this is what you would recommend for people that are just testing products off the bat and like starting to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, most people are using $5 a day budgets with margins of under 60.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's a rare case scenario, you know, if you're doing $20 budgets with a $100 margin, this whole thing would look different.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
That's why I specified that.
So from my perspective, what I see a lot when people are product testing is they either give up too fast or they're too emotionally attached to a product where they're just like spending so much money. Like, I know it's going to work because they get that like first initial sale. It's sort of like a lucky sale. And they're like, I know it's the winner. I know I'm going to make a bunch of money off it, you know, and they get that one sale and they flex the 50 ROAS and it's there for like, you know, it's there for like an hour or whatever.
I have a solution to that. Just because the product's a winner doesn't mean the campaign is.
Oh, there's a new twist to it.
I'm serious,
But
man.
yeah.
Like there's been situations where I know that a product has a big potential to work, and I'll try it and it just doesn't do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll try it in like a different store or a different campaign or something, different creatives, and it'll just blow up.
Yeah.
You know, like numerous times that's happened.
Yeah. So I think that one thing people do is they test like one specific thing. Whether it's one specific creative or one specific little strategy they follow, or like, you know, maybe 1 or 2 ad sets, whatever the case is, and they just give up on it and they don't see the potential. They're also more just like not actually putting in the time and effort of, like they just throw something up super quick. Like, all right, I'm gonna do $5 a day, one interest. This is the interest, and I'm just gonna take this person's video and steal their thing. Like they don't focus on any of the variables really at all.
You might have added something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I was going to add is I was telling them about this, and I think I might have mentioned in the other videos, but I had a student who he tested, I mean, I'll just say the product, it was like the gray camo headset, and he tested it on a really generic store, wasn't branded at all, and he tested it, and it did okay, maybe did like a couple grand with it, but then just died out. And then we went into another store where the owner of the store branded it, and long story short, he ended up doing like over 700 grand when the other person only did like maybe 2 grand, 3 grand with it. And I think that it came down to like, it's just kind of like the same thing, you know, like the product, you know, sometimes the product is a winner, but it depends on how people position it, what kind of traffic they're sending to it, what kind of ad creative they're using. Like how we scaled that one was using like YouTube pages, and then also Facebook, because people would see it on YouTube and then they would see the Facebook ads and it would kind of all correlate in, but it was branded and it just like seemed like I don't even think it was because seemed like more of a legit thing, but like it was just like positioned differently and it just like worked out differently. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like if you're selling products, like a lot of people that, you know, like we've tested like with like 15 people the same product, and one kid, you know, makes it a winner and went to like 15K a month with it, and then everyone else just ends up not working. So a lot of it, I mean, it just comes down to like, is the product, you know, the product just sometimes might not work for some people, and it also depends on how they run the ads and all that. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in.
Perfect. Yeah. Appreciate it, bro. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Helped you understand a little bit more about the whole product testing analysis whole ordeal with Noah giving some insight, myself, and even Dennis, which is super awesome. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll see you tomorrow for the next video. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be and what else we have in store for today for you guys. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.